Hi, everybody. This week's book of the week is called Mirror, Mirror, a book of reverso poems written by Marilyn Singer and illustrated by Jose Massey. I love the illustrations in this book. They are so beautiful. Do you know what a reverso poem is? A reverso poem, or commonly called reverse poems, are poems that can be read going down and upside down, two poems in one. You'll see what I mean. Very, very cool. And usually they have the opposite meaning. So if you look at the cover and the inside cover, this is a book of reverso poems all about fairy tales. I think you're really, really going to like it. And it might inspire you to try to write a reverso poem. But don't be discouraged because Miss Rodriguez has been trying for a very long time and it is very difficult. If you really love this book, Marilyn Singer has a lot of other reverso poems. Check in the module for more ideas and resources. Here we go. Here's the dedication page. Here is the copyright page. And the first poem, In Reverse. Who says it's true? Down is the only view? If you believe that, this poem will challenge you. Up is something new. Now notice how the last line is something new, and this poem is written basically upside down and starts with something new. Here it starts with who? Here it ends with who. It's the same exact poem written upside down. Something new is up. You will challenge this poem if you believe that the only view is down. It's true, says who? Very cool, guys. And if you look at the illustration, it is a king looking at a queen and the reflection and vice versa, opposites. Okay, here we go. Cinderella's double life. Isn't life unfair? Stuck in a corner while they're waiting for a chance with the prince. Dancing waltz after waltz at the ball. I'll be shining these shoes till the clock strikes midnight. Here's the reverso. Till the clock strikes midnight, these shoes. I'll be shining at the ball, dancing waltz after waltz with the prince, while they're waiting for their chance. Stuck in a corner? Isn't life unfair? So the first one was told in the perspective of Cinderella being the Cinderella and not getting to do all the fancy things that her stepsisters are doing, and she's saying how life is unfair. The next poem, or the reverso poem, is talking about Cinderella having the chance to go to the ball with Prince Charming, and it's told in the stepsisters, oh, poor them, life's unfair, they have to be stuck in the corner. Very cool. Okay, next is another favorite, Sleeping Beauty and the Wide Awake Prince. Typical. Hacking through briars, looking for love. The prince at work. But I have to be sleeping, never partying, never out in the world. It's no fun being in a fairy tale. And who do you think the point of view is, or the person telling the poem? You're right, it's Sleeping Beauty. Now let's read the reverso. In a fairy tale, it's no fun being out in the world, never partying, never sleeping. But I have to be the prince at work, looking for love, hacking through briars. Typical. So they're both complaining about their role in the fairy tale, but opposite, 2 points of view. Rapunzel's locks. Oh, I love the illustration, and there's even somebody with a lock of her hair. No wonder she felt snippy. Sweeping the floor, it took forever to manage. All that pale, tangled, dangling hair. Cut off, shut up in the tower. Who was that strange girl with the weird name? You know, someone said her mother was a witch. It figures. So that is feeling sorry for Rapunzel. Let's read the reverso. It figures. Someone said her mother was a witch. You know, that strange girl with the weird name who was shut up in the tower, cut off all that pale, tangled, dangling hair. It took forever to manage sweeping the floor. No wonder she felt snippy. In the Hood. Little Red Riding Hood. Let's read this one. In my hood, skipping through the wood, carrying a basket, picking berries to eat. Juicy and sweet, what a treat! But a girl mustn't dawdle, after all, Grandma's waiting. After all, Grandma's waiting, mustn't dawdle, but a girl! What a treat! Juicy and sweet, picking berries to eat. Carrying a basket, skipping through the wood, in my hood. So the first poem was told in Little Red Riding Hood's perspective or point of view, and the second one was told in the wolf's point of view, and all the author or the poet did was flip the poem upside down. Ooh, the Doubtful Duckling. Someday I'll turn into a swan. No way, I'll stay an ugly duckling, stubby and gray. Plain to see, look at me, a beauty I'll be. A beauty I'll be? Look at me, plain to see, stubby and gray, an ugly duckling I'll stay. No way, I'll turn into a swan someday. Oh, here's the poem that the book is named after, Mirror, Mirror. What famous fairy tale is that? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Let me help you get some rest. Mother knows best. Listen to me, Snow White. Sleepy, dopey, happy, you've been working day and night. You look worn out. A long nap, a blanket, an apple to eat. What would you like? Time to get off your feet. So that poem sounds like the evil queen was talking to Snow White and the dwarfs. Let's read what the reverso sounds like. Time to get off your feet. What would you like? An apple to eat? A blanket? A long nap? You look worn out. You've been working day and night. Sleepy, dopey, happy, Snow White. Listen to me. Mother knows best. Let me help you get some rest. Ooh, Jack and the Beanstalk. The title of the poem is called Full of Beans. What will happen next? Little does he know, a giant beanstalk is about to reach the clouds through the fragrant green air. A boy waits in the garden. Cow, market, beans, leading to this moment. Time to climb. Time to climb, leading to this moment. Cow, market, beans, garden. A boy waits in the fragrant green air. Through the clouds, the beanstalk is about to reach a giant. Little does he know what will happen next. Ooh, Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears. Bears in the news. Asleep in Cub's bed, blonde, startled by bears. The headline read, next day, Goldilocks claimed, they shouldn't have left the door unlocked. She ate the porridge, she broke a chair. Big deal, no, they weren't there. Reverso. They weren't there, no, big deal, a chair broke, she ate the porridge, she unlocked the door. They shouldn't have left Goldilocks, claimed. Next day, the headline read, bear startled by blonde asleep in Cub's bed. Ooh, have another chocolate. Look carefully at the illustration. This is a very famous fairy tale. Do you remember what it is? I don't think that there's a movie about it. It's called Hansel and Gretel. Have another chocolate. Fatten up, boy. Don't you like prime rib? Then your hostess will roast you, goose. Have another chocolate. Eat another piece of gingerbread. When you hold it out, your finger looks like a bone. Fatten up. Don't keep her waiting. Keep her waiting. Don't fatten up. A bone feels like your finger when you hold it out. Eat another piece of gingerbread. Have another chocolate. Goose. Then your hostess will roast you like a prime rib. Don't you fatten up, boy. Do you know my name? I'm going to read the poem and the reverso, and then you tell me what fairy tale we're talking about. Do you know my name? Think of straw turned into gold. In this story, I am famous, but not liked. I am betrayed by greed, a girl, my foolish self. My foolish self, a girl, by greed, betrayed. I am liked, but not famous. I am in this story. Think of straw turned to gold. Do you know my name? Well, this is the fairy tale Rumpelstiltskin. Disappointment. At first I didn't know what this poem was about, but looking at the illustration, now I know. The princess who kissed that frog, he stayed green. He kept croaking, "Shame on you! You're only you, once only you fool," she cried. When he tried for a second kiss, she couldn't believe such disappointment. Isn't this a fairy tale? Where's the happy ending? Where's the happy ending? A fairy tale this isn't. Such disappointment. She couldn't believe when he tried for a second kiss. She cried, "Fool, you once only, shame on you." He kept croaking. He stayed green, that frog who kissed the princess. Ooh, longing for beauty, a lot of people's favorites. A beast can love beauty. A moist muzzle can become a rose. A hairy ear can prize a nightingale singing. Beneath fur, look, a soft heart stirs longing. That sounds like they're describing the beast looking for love. Longing stirs a soft heart. Look beneath fur. A nightingale singing can prize a hairy ear. A rose can welcome a moist muzzle. Beauty can love a beast. And I think that one's telling her that she can love the beast, and then we know what happens next, right, guys? The road. It may be such a fairy tale secret, this much I know. The road leads wherever you go. You need to go wherever the road leads. I know this much, a fairy tale secret, it may be such. This one is kind of hard because we don't always consider it a fairy tale, but there is a famous movie. Do you see the witch? Right over here? Yeah, I think it's describing the Wizard of Oz with the yellow brick road. Okay, we're done with the poems. Here is more about reverso poems. We read most poems down a page, but what if you read them up? That's the question I have asked myself when I created the reverso. When you read a reverso down, it is one poem, and when you read it up, with changes allowed only in punctuation and capitalization, it is a different poem. The first reverso I wrote that inspired by my cat, August. A cat without a chair, incomplete. Incomplete, a chair without a cat. I had such a good time composing it that I had to write more. Reversos can be about many topics. However, the reversos in this book are based on fairy tales. The form is especially appropriate for telling two sides of one story. It is a form that is both challenging and fun, rather like creating and solving a puzzle. Try it yourself and you'll see what I mean. And then this is the back cover of the book. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it inspired you to perhaps try to write a reverso poem. They can be very frustrating, but you can look for some resources and look at some on the module. And if you do happen to write a reverso poem, you better inbox me and share it. I would love to see it and we can showcase you. And